Well, I think that the biggest challenge in the last 5 years for telco growth has been identifying the areas in which they could keep providing services to customers and increasing the revenue per customer. At the same time, the pressure and the competitiveness of the markets has gone down, has taken prices down. So it means that when you see the amount of services, bandwidth, and information that customers are putting through networks is much, much bigger. So that is a growth opportunity in theory. At the same time, with prices going down, sometimes the challenge is how to balance that. I think telcos has been facing this to some extent, adding some services around that. In the case of consumers, adding content as one critical element of their offering, trying to go into more quad play and keep competing on that area. And in the case of businesses, trying to add cloud services, security services, unified communication solutions and things like that. Well, I think that the operators react to changes in the market with different strategies. In some cases, they have decided to leverage the value of the data they manage, thinking and trying to be proactive on how to use all that information they have in the world and trying to even monetize that information. So, for example, helping retailers to find where shops should be based, using the anonymized data of people that are moving around in the streets. Other people are trying to leverage their relationship with customers, adding services to what they sell to them. So in the case of SMEs, increasing, for example, the number of solutions they can provide to them, not only voice and data. And I think that also they are thinking how to reduce their cost base. They are looking to opportunities to keep improving using automation, using robotics in the front end with chatbots for consumers, and at the same time internally using that in the processes that provide services to customers. Building network infrastructure is always a tricky part of the business of an operator. I think that you have a very basic part, which is the pure infrastructure. That should be an area where they should focus. They should partner in some cases, so it's the pure fiber infrastructure that you could deploy. Then you have that infrastructure of fiber that could link either to connect, in the case of mobile operators, to more antennas, and we know that the increase of capillarity requirements under 5G is going to be, I would say, a trend in the industry, so it means that you will need to have more infrastructure in that case. Or you can use that fiber infrastructure to provide fiber to the home or fiber to the cabinet services. The next layer on top of that is how you leverage the IT part. So how you make things easy to provision services to customers. So they have to make those things simpler for customers, simpler to add new services, to buy new things, to change their plans, for example, the data plans or the voice plans they have. The next layer would be about the cloud and the cloud applications for consumers, with applications where you can store data or where you can just use your own information, and some applications on a personal basis. For companies, the same thing, cloud services in the data computing space, and being able to continue to expand the capabilities on them, right? And the final one probably is that they have to focus on how they are going to be able to partner with the OTT players rather than taking the traditional movement into, okay, I am going just to compete them. I think that the biggest challenge for telcos is how they become platform businesses and not just infrastructure businesses. Well, I can imagine that the future networks should deliver services like the network itself being able to self-configure, do an, I would say, live design of the networks, being able to change, because using artificial intelligence, you can really understand better what are the best routes and the infrastructure that could be at risk. They should be able also to expand that service, that is an internal service, into customers, so that if you have more demand at the end of the month because you have your invoices going out, you should be able to have more bandwidth. or if you need to be protected, the network should be able to detect that in advance. It should be easier to connect new places, to connect new customers. It should be also easier to understand the risks that you could be running in the network. In the consumer space, I think that how to use the data and how to protect the data of your customers, but at the same time, being able to provide more services to your customers. I think that the combination, the balance between having a good protection, a good privacy situation with an additional set of services is one of the biggest challenges and one of the biggest opportunities. You have the ability to have in the smart home space, you can provide more solutions to customers. On the personal area, you can help customers because you have a huge amount of data, so you can help them to have a better life, and then you can expand that into businesses. So there will be new services related to how companies can understand the ecosystem of relationships. That will include Internet of Things, it will include blockchain, it will include artificial intelligence platforms that could help customers to do better businesses, leveraging the infrastructure they use.